Hey guys, welcome to your final quilling lesson. Now you're going to actually put your things together and create something. I'm going to show you two different ways you can do it, either by just gluing your coils together or by gluing them onto a paper or canvas of some kind. Okay? So before you watch this, make sure that you have created your coils. I have made a whole bunch of coils. And make sure you have glue. I decided to use liquid glue this time instead of the glue stick, just because it's a little easier to work with when you're attaching things. And if you choose to glue it to something, make sure you have whatever that thing is. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to choose what you're going to make. So I'm going to start by making a basic flower, just because it is one of the easier things to make, and it's pretty easy to show you how I make it. Okay? So here we go. Okay guys, so in order to make this one flower, I need 9 coils. I have 8 large blue ones and 1 small yellow one. I also need my glue, okay? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to form them. So I'm going to pinch each end like this. And this is going to make it into my flower petal shape. Okay. Now, so I've formed all my petals. Now I need to make it into my shape. So I'm not going to quite put everything together yet. I want to make sure that I'm going to like how this looks. Okay, and I think that's going to work well. Next thing I'm going to do is take my glue. Now I'm going to make this into a free hanging flower, so I could put a string on the end of this and hang it on a window or even use it as a Christmas ornament. But just to make sure it doesn't stick to my table, I'm actually going to make it on this piece of plastic here. This is a cutting board, and it's just going to make sure that I can peel it off. So you can attach yours onto some kind of plastic to make it easier to peel off later, because remember, glue turns to plastic when it dries. So I'm going to start by placing my center in the middle. Then I'm going to start by putting glue around each edge just like this. Notice I'm putting glue on the front of each side up until where it's biggest in the middle, because this is where it will touch each other, and I want to make sure that all sides stay connected. Okay, so I've glued my flower together. As you can see right now, it's glued basically to here. Once this dries, I'll be able to pop it off and have a flower that's all glued together, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to make something glued to a paper. It's going to be a photo that stays. One idea for this is to make it into a card. So you could give this card to someone for their birthday, or really any kind of card you want. So I'm going to start by folding this in half. I'm going to create a birthday card with balloons on it. So a balloon is another super easy thing that you can make with these, because they're already kind of circles. All you need to do is pinch the end a tiny bit so it looks more like the shape of a balloon. Okay? So just do this with as many coils that you want to become your balloons, and then I'm going to show you how you glue them and add drawing or paper to make the strings of the balloon. Okay, so I now have all my little balloon shapes, and now I'm going to be gluing them down. When you're doing something like this, I find it's important to place them first, just to make sure that you like how they look. Once I have placed them down, next I'm going to glue them down. So my balloons are all going this way towards the front or the bottom of my paper. So I'm going to now glue them down. The difference with these is you don't need to glue on the sides. Instead, you just glue on the bottom and you stick it down. So once I am finished gluing them down, I have two choices. Choice number one, this is a slightly harder choice, but I could take strips of paper and glue them to the end of each balloon until it reaches the end, okay? But I'm gonna go the faster route and I'm just gonna draw them with a marker. So I want all of my balloons to end about here. And so I'm gonna draw my lines. Going down. And those in the middle, I'm gonna add little lines until okay, so there's my thing of balloons. And then at the bottom, I could draw like a bow or something. And then I can add my text. Okay, and there's a card. Happy birthday! Pretty easy, right? One final thing I'm going to show you is just something that's pretty easy, but I thought it's pretty fun. I'm going to show you how to make a little tiny tree. For this, you want 3 coils. So if you want to make a scene of some type, like a landscape where you want trees, you want to make a sun and clouds, this is how you can kind of start that off. You're going to first take your top tree and pinch it into a triangle. Okay. Next, you're going to take your second biggest one. You're not making it into a full triangle though. The top part you need to actually make kind of flat, like this. And then the final part, you want to stretch it as wide as it possibly can go. And this is the bottom of your tree. So you might need to make adjustments to make it the size that you want and the shape that you desire. Okay, but pretty easy little tree right here. And then you could take a little coil of the color of your choice. If you had brown, it would be perfect. And you can make the trunk of your tree. I only have yellow. I'm gonna make a little trunk of my tree. Okay, and it's done. Very simple. And you would just glue this to whatever you want. So this is your quilling project. I just showed you 3 different ideas you can use. Feel free to make up your own and be inspired. Just a recap, here's the one that I did that I'm going to peel off when it dries. I can hang it with a ribbon and make a decoration. I could also make it into a card or just some kind of decoration. Or I could make any shape you want. That's the really cool thing with this is you can make anything you want. You could also make it 3D if you stack them on top of each other, which you could create little buildings or all kinds of things. So have fun with this, and I can't wait to see what you make.